Give you the youth pastor capitalism. Oh, here it is. Here it is. And then we're going to watch the video from Nick too. So he comes back to the fucking, he leaves the dark side.
His philosophy is he'd rather be happy and broke than rich and sad. But
yesterday we were watching a Gary Vaynerchuk video, by the way, which we're going to continue now. I'll find a better spot to start it off in. Here he is complaining about
father managed to give him a huge leg up into the world of business. I'm not saying Gary isn't talented, obviously.
Why do you use a Soviet flag? Using that flag of a nation which removed all leftism from Russia and instead resorted to fascism? What? Bro, I get like sometimes there's always like sometimes there's a fucking take that even catches me off guard. That was one of that. That was like anarchist, right? I suspect. Like, because, the basic stuff is like, they're fascist. They're the same as the Nazis or worse than the Nazis or something like that. And then sometimes I just get like fucking whiplash. You can literally say almost the same thing about the American flag. You can say that about the American flag, which I do regularly. It's functionally no different than the fucking American flag. Especially considering its usage, application, and how long it was around, and not just like a symbol of Stalin in the way that people try to lock it into. And even with Stalin, there is the good and the bad. Okay? There is mismanagement, famine, deaths, a surveillance apparatus that was broad, horrible. And then there's the good, killing Nazis. So even if you were to reduce it to just Stalin, there's more to it than just the swastika, for example. The killing Nazi part was pretty poggers. Yes, it was. It was poggers as fuck. The USA killed Nazis too, though. Yeah, that's why I'm saying the USA flag also has some good and a lot of bad. That's the point. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Some good, killing Nazis. Pretty good. Good stuff overall. Of course, they weren't as good at killing Nazis as the USSR was, but hey, what are you going to do? Yes, we will watch the Elden Ring gameplay later today, okay? After this. I promise. You are in it? What the fuck? Nick's vid you skipped. We're going to watch that as well. All right, let's get started.
He is, but he literally...
We're back to watching Gary V, baby. Gary fucking V. America's greatest. Okay? Okay. Let's do it.
Never, ever admits that his father gave him a massive leg up.
You know what I think is a better advantage than being born into something? Being born into nothing. I'm on the record. Remember I said it. Can't wait to watch it in 20 years. The internet the way it is today, I'd rather have 0 than 100 million. People that have 0 are like, this
bullshit.
Idiot. That's because you don't talk to trust fund babies. I do. I talk to trust fund babies. They DM me. I meet them in real life because of my business career. They're sad. Do you know what it's like to talk to a human being that looks at you at 22 years old and says, no matter what I do for the next 80 years, it will never be my own accomplishment. Everybody will always say I was handed it and I'm done. Do you know what kind of level of depression, cocaine, and partying until you die that leads to? A lot.
That was bad.
Every time. I click my fingers. Another trust fund baby does a line of cocaine and is a bit sad. Please donate today to the Trust Fund Baby Fund so that one day no more trust fund babies will have to be a bit sad because Daddy was too successful. The Trust Fund Baby Fund, because there's nothing worse than Tarquin feeling a bit aimless. His philosophy is he'd rather be happy and broke than rich and sad, but he never admits that many problems come from financial problems, but he's never experienced that himself. He'll say that he had to start VaynerMedia out of somebody else's office.
I love when people are like, well, don't listen to him. He was given $3 million or given us. I wasn't. I built a business from $3 to $60 million. Left at 34 years old, owning none of it. I didn't even get our own office because I wanted to save money.
He's never had to worry about paying rent or paying bills. That's true adversity. But if this content gives people hope, is it a bad thing? And another key message is to have gratitude, even if that involves giving yourself disturbing, intrusive thoughts every day in the shower.
My family.
Good. Who in your family? Pick one.
All of them.
You're very politically correct. Cool. Every day, make like literally once a day, genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and make pretend one of them got shot in the face. I probably once a week to 4 times a week sit there truly in the shower and truly try to convince myself that I have lost one of the 5 most important people in my life.
Because it seems that if you've never had any true adversity in your life, then the trick is to artificially give yourself some. You can tell he doesn't really know how to advise people sometimes from the way that he interacts with these people who ask him these questions. If he doesn't truly know how to answer, such as this lady who's attempting to ask him a question about growing her YouTube channel, he just interrupts her and goes off on a diatribe about enjoying the journey.
I just started up my YouTube, but I'm having a hard time like staying consistent with building.
Can I tell you what's holding you up?
Yeah.
Like if you're feeling any angst, it's because you don't love the process more than the results. You're thinking about $10,000 a month in AdSense instead of loving the fucking dirt.
Yeah, no shit, but I'm sure this lady had a burning question that she's paid thousands of dollars and waited hours in line to ask you, and now she's not even gonna get a proper answer because you just interrupted her and then went off on this tangent which was probably not useful to her. We can laugh or balk all we want, but it's these attention-grabbing statements that get Gary his clout in his keynote gigs. And his keynote gigs are one of the biggest, and I would say very likely his biggest source of income, bar his early successful investments. So he has to keep this clout going. One time he was invited to drop his motivational nuggets on the Hundum of the Beachbody MLM. And if you're new to the channel and you're not familiar with what an MLM is, they're basically the evil organizations that make all of the women who never moved out of your hometown start acting like this. Okay, I know she's your grandma and you're selling sex toys, but she might say yes. So I was waking up every morning feeling awfully sluggish, right? So I decided to do this thing called 30 Days to Healthy Living, right? And I discovered that if I cut out, hang on one second, red meat, white meat, seafood, gluten, dairy, eggs, nuts, and processed foods, then I'll be absolutely fine. No, it's got nothing to do with the wine. Do you want a cup of tea? It's okay, if this is a business meeting, then the tea bag will be a tax write-off anyway. No, you're not balding. Your hair follicles are regenerating themselves. Oh, have you ever heard of Rachel Hollis? Yeah, she's great. So relatable. No, you're not going into debt. Your bank account is just regenerating itself. Yeah, and then we all wear white at the party in the evening. Have I heard of the film Midsummer? No? It's not a no, it's a not now. Well, leave 63 messages on her voicemail then. Well, leave 64. Yeah, I'm my own boss now. There's a 7-page contract with rules that I have to strictly adhere to, but no, it really does work. Have you ever heard of the law of attraction? Have you ever heard?
The amount of people I saw in the chat shocked at the Gary Vaynerchuk video about how you need to fantasize that your fucking parents are dead like I do was alarming to me. I've watched that video many times on this broadcast. How the fuck have you guys never seen that before? That's crazy. God damn, it's like one of my favorite fucking videos. I make that joke all the time. And yes, it is only something that someone who has never experienced adversity would have to conjure up in his own brain in an effort to feel like they have experienced some kind of adversity so they can feel gratitude. He's very privileged.
Of the term financially free. Am I financially free? Am I free of all finances? Yes. Yeah, I've got so much more time to spend with the kids now. Shut up! I'd say I'm only about 1 month away from the free car. And I've been saying that for a while, but I'm a makeup artist now. So I'm going to draw you a diagram of everyone in my team and everyone in my downlines teams as well, okay? So there's me here, and then there's Stacy. No, corporations are pyramid schemes. Have you ever noticed how your boss earns more than you? Pyramid. 2 there and 1 there. So as you can see, anyway, how many motivational quotes have you posted on your Instagram today? Then post 7 more. Yeah, I've made so many friends since starting up with this. What? Sandy's left? That fucking bitch. Delete her off Facebook right now. Oh yeah, the shakes are lovely. 99.7% of people who attempt MLMs end up losing money. That money gets siphoned directly up to the top 0.3%. Gary is probably very aware of this, being an astute businessman, and here he is being paid probably around $200,000 for an hour speech to tell them all to hustle and grind and stop complaining.
So I've been doing some homework over the last 3 or 4 months, actually, following your social media presence. And the truth is, punchline is I think 95% of the people here are just not working hard enough. I think a lot of people like to cry about stuff. But instead of taking $1,000 of the $6,000 you've made doing this and buying Facebook ads with it and then making $12,000, you cried.
You should have taken $1,000 of that $6,000 you've made and advertised with it and made $20,000, but instead you cried. If you'd really done your research on Beachbody, Gary, you'd know that only 3.5% of the people in that room have even made $6,000. In fact, only 1 in 5 people in that room have even made the $1,000 that you're saying that they should be spending on Facebook advertising. And let me just clarify this. Before expenses, 99.7% of them will end up in the red. And it's nothing to do with hustle, Gary. It's basic maths and market demand. Something they're being encouraged not to think about. Gary also makes hefty sums of money to speak at events organized by a company called Success Resources, a company that Tony Robbins also regularly speaks for. Basically, Gary and Tony and a few other big names in this business are used as bait to get naive young entrepreneurs to drop hundreds of dollars on these events, which turn out to be a trap because you have to sit there through 8 hours of pitches from get-rich-quick gurus trying to get you to drop $1,997 on a bullshit course before Gary or whoever the main act is even comes on stage.
Apart from Russell Brand, Gary Vee, the rest was really actually quite sad to watch as people lined up to sign up to these courses to be millionaires.
Like, no question, the worst event I've ever been to.
We went to a Success Resource event actually.
Yeah.
You were one of the speakers there.
Yeah.
Before you turned up, people were like booing and also shouting the price out of what, because they all followed the same process. Oh, at 1997. People were shouting it out, crowd were booing. That woman in front of us got up and left. She hated it.
You know what the greatest sadness for me every day is? When some people see my content and they think my high energy means I'm one of those people. Has it been cool for you guys to figure out the difference between me and them?
None of them are on the
I'm
same
for
line.
free, not telling them what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They're for money, telling them what they want to hear.
He believes his 30 minutes is so valuable, so pure, that somehow makes it all worthwhile.
If Gary gave one iota of a shit about the well-being of his fans, he would not go anywhere near this company. Now, while some positivity is good, it also helps to be fucking realistic. An MLM telling a room full of hopefuls that they're all gonna make it one day is completely unrealistic. And telling someone in a typical capitalist society that anyone can make it if they just hustle hard enough is also not realistic. And one workplace which personifies this toxic hustle worker exploitation culture is fucking VaynerMedia. Yes, Gary's own company has some of the worst Glassdoor reviews I've ever seen. Backstabbing culture. You're just another number to them. If you're looking to be undervalued and overworked, well then VaynerMedia is the place for you. Impossible deadlines and unrealistic expectations. Long work days and late nights with no compensation. People are afraid to speak about their burnouts, days in the hospital, or if they take medication because of stress.
I think it has a lot to do with many different things. First of all, anonymous websites. People that are willing to go to extremes when nobody can figure out who that person is. So anonymous leads to it.
No shit, Gary. You're perpetually surrounded by yes men because everybody's jobs around you rely on you. So you should probably really take these anonymous reviews on board. But he doesn't care that much because people will keep applying to work there anyway because he's Gary fucking Vaynerchuk. People think that he will look good on their CV, so he can work them to the bone while they're there, and then as soon as they burn out, he can just move on to the next inexperienced kid who doesn't realize what a normal, respectful workplace should be like.
So he's there like shouting, that email should have gone out yesterday, like shouting at his staff. They all look tired because they all work long hours. Yeah, they are burnt out there and they don't last long.
But it's all of this and the fact that he takes the money to speak at success resources events and MLM events that solidify my belief in the fact that Gary Vee only really truly cares about one person, and that's Gary Vee.
There's two ways to build the biggest building in town. You either just build the biggest building in town, or you spend all your time tearing everybody else's building down. Really? I hate Michael Jordan with my entire heart. And if there's anything on my last breath that I'm most proud of, is I'm out here just trying to build the biggest building. Fuck you if you bought Jordans. Would be the best if...
Wait, why does he hate Michael Jordan? I didn't understand that. I mean, I get that he obviously only cares about himself, but like, why is he fucking... Uh-oh, Grimes about to get bangs. It's over for Hasanabi chat. Oh my God. Ratio chat. Get to work. This is important. Please get to work. This is very important to me. Perhaps the most. It's the most important. This is the most important moment in the history of this chat, in the history of this community. Also, Grimes still has not responded to my DMs. Makes me very sad. Did it in front of all of us and God? Any reason why you get mad at chat for being coomers and then you post a tweet reply like this? It's pure hypocrisy. It's strategic. Okay? It's strategic. Also, ratio is about to be achieved. Also, I'm a hypocrite. What the fuck do you mean? I'm literally a hypocrite. Yeah. Yes. Haas tweet not sending his best. What is it? Cake OG status gone. I can't see. I can't see what it is. Brother Elon is gonna assassinate you. Please stop. No, he won't. And even if he does, it's fine. Loopson would never do this. No, I read it correctly. Bangs are never a mistake. Bangs are never a mistake. You know what is a mistake, though? Literally watching the ads at the top of the hour, okay? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And I got to run those ads. Contractual obligation. Vati also played and reviewed Elden Ring. Oh my god. Now, at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break, but the biggest problem there is seeing those ads. If you don't want to see those ads, if you're like, yo, what the fuck? Hasanabi, I don't want to see these fucking ads, dude. Well, then all you need to do is subscribe, my friend. That's right. For $5 or for free. For the low price of $3.99. You can subscribe. And that way you will no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. An ad-free broadcasting experience. Also, the hoodies are restocked. I'm just going to keep fucking mentioning it. Because some of you keep coming in here and being like, the hoodies have been restocked? What the fuck? And they're not running out this time. So you're good. Hopefully they won't run out for a couple days.
All 8 billion people.
Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
You wouldn't have a single bad thing happen in society.
But you only think he's a piece of shit because he beat your team?
Yes.
That's it.
Isn't that more than a fucking enough? If you actually cared about everybody else and didn't impose your own hurt on someone else. Tom Brady, choke, would be phenomenally happy with that. People that tear everyone else's building down are hurting inside and want other people to feel pain. Misery loves company.
You just don't like that he's really good and he wins.
Correct.
That's so
At
weird.
the expense of my team.
He consistently tells us that our phones are only a mirror of who we truly are and we shouldn't worry about using social media more.
Twitter didn't change your opinions. Twitter allowed you to express them. We're demonizing technology. We're underestimating evolution of the human race, and that it's super cute that ideological people are imposing these wills with no substantial data of any sort or kind.
Political divides are only widening due to companies like Facebook literally profiting off our anger. And I suppose Gary Vee is also profiting off that anger. Facebook has this little fucking knob that they just turn to reduce hate and lower profits, or increase hate and increase profits. And which way does he turn that knob, Gary? Which way does your friend Zucky boy turn the...
This is what happens when you live with an Italian man. Okay, boys? He went and he ordered cheese covered with prosciutto. That's right.
fucking knob. But whose bottom line does it hurt if we all start using our phones and apps and social media less? Gary V's. And where do you think all of this technology will take us in the long run, Gary?
Oh, the endpoint is the robots kill us all.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. I just eat shit constantly, which is really my definition of eating shit. I'm eating shit. How about eating shit instead?
But just think about the way in which he has become successful.
That seems
he
bleak.
grew his father's company by personifying it through his personality. He started VaynerMedia and got large clients because he'd already got clout through being famous because of his personality. And then he made a few savvy investments from the money that he made through this, which made him even more money. And then he branded himself further and more aggressively through social media by marketing his personality through social media. But the only advice that he will give ultimately are actions that have worked for him, which basically comes down to this: brute force in terms of content and work ethic, polluting the online space with content 24 hours per day. But that doesn't mean that that will work for everyone. Posting on every social media platform 10 times a day is not a recipe for success for everyone. I am one example of that. But nevertheless, his showcasing of his good communication skills and his positioning of himself as an entrepreneur's guru has got...
You're wrong! Municat, you're fucking wrong! You should be watching less Kim Kardashian and posting more! It ain't happening, it seems. Yes, okay, I needed to see this. No. Do we need to remind you what happened last time, babe? No! It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It could have been a different way. This is also really bad, but it could have been a different way. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. What? This is from your Miami trip a while ago, but this one's for you, bro. That Ludwig? What the fuck? Why did Ludwig do this? $134,000 likes. All white guys are Ludwig? Okay, dude, this white guy is Ludwig, so you're wrong.
Him countless keynote speeches, and this has got him more generous angel investor deals, and in turn, more business for VaynerMedia, and the cycle continues. But Gary Vee isn't successful because he hustled hard. Gary Vee is successful because he's Gary Vee. And not everyone is Gary Vee. And thank fuck for that. But this is why I call him the ultimate cheerleader for capitalism. I bet multi-billionaires fucking...
Like, Gary Vee is literally what you get when you combine survivor's bias with like a profound amount of privilege. Okay? It's it. He's very privileged. The reality is he is, and he doesn't even fucking recognize that privilege. Something that Mooncat very correctly pointed out, with his affluent beginnings playing a significant role, like not having to fucking worry about rent and shit. Something I've talked about as well. A lot of people routinely, conservatives specifically, routinely talk about intergenerational wealth in the form of being a beneficiary when your parents die. You know what I mean? Like being a beneficiary of someone's estate. You know? Like as though the way you transfer intergenerational wealth is by fucking having your parents die. That's not what happens, brother. Okay? And I'm a perfect example of this. My father and his father before him made so much money and then lost it all by the time my dad was in college. And by the time I was in college, my father lost all of his fucking money. All of it. Okay? And guess what? I still had an insane amount of upper hand, an insane advantage because of the affluent beginnings that he offered. Okay? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the affluent beginnings that he gave me played a significant fucking role. That compounds endlessly if they don't even lose their fucking wealth. Doesn't have to be about like him giving me money directly, okay? It's more so about the opportunities that that opens up for you, especially if your parents didn't fucking lose all their money at a certain point.
Love this guy. Not because they follow his advice for motivation, because I can assure you they don't. But why? Because when all you're doing is either working or sitting at home, not.
And when you say insanely wealthy, you don't even make billions? No, of course not. No, obviously not. No, but they made like a fuckload of money.
Not complaining. What are you not doing? Organizing, thinking, unionizing, attempting to improve society somewhat.
Yes.
What we should have a hustle culture for is getting the working class to advocate for their rights as workers, to improve social mobility.
Fuck yeah.
And I'll do that with swearing if that's what works for Gary. Fuck! Shit! Cock! But for the politicians fighting for your rights, but for the politicians that believe in science, lead from your eyeballs with all your might, rip off your arms and legs for the alliance. I want you to sit there in the shower every morning and imagine a billionaire shot directly in the face. This stupid nightmare, blasted into Harper's hands and from yourself and redirect the blame. We more than the ones who are able to play the game of power, get the patriarchy pegged. United we bargain, divided we beg. Organize, can you unionize? Can you end the extraction of surplus labor value? I want you to sit there in the shower every morning and imagine a billionaire shot directly in the face. This stupid nightmare, blasted into Harper's hands and from yourself and redirect the blame. We're more than the ones who are able to play the game.
He's dope.
A living wage by majority rule. Unionization is sexy and cool. What's even better than tits and ass? Uplifting material conditions for the working class. Fuck! Shit! Cock! Arse! Kate Hinchman, Jason Silver, Jesse Jess, Queen, HTH, Zach Art, Larry Gowen, Martin King, Steve.
That was really good. It's so good. So fucking good, dude.